Well, welcome back everyone to another episode of the Check-In with Bryan and Jeremy. I'm Bryan.
I'm Jeremy.
And we are in a different location tonight.
Location.
We're filming in the evening.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm like in
we need to do
little
more
vibe.
nights. Yeah. We've got a great guest tonight.
I'm so excited to
Sam
talk to
Goldberg
Sam.
from Respect the Chain.
Put some respect on it.
Yeah. Massive following online. Love the chain restaurant. His video content's pretty incredible. Big following on YouTube, TikTok.
And I saw that he's an attorney.
I know.
So I want to hear, how did this happen?
When I first met him, that's what I thought was crazy. I was like, oh, you're an attorney and you do this. And then, but he's good at it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't wait to hear what he has to say.
And we have a really good game.
We do have a good game.
Test
Yeah, we've never done a game before.
We've never done a game. So we got some burgers. We're
Yeah.
going to see if we can guess the chain restaurant.
Yeah.
So I think we should do that more often.
We should. We need to come up with more games for the
see.
guests. So, so speaking of restaurants, like your favorite restaurant?
My favorite restaurant is, I love Yucca 105 on South Beach.
Okay, of course.
It is Peruvian, Asian, Cuban. Yeah, it's a really cool, it's very Miami, very authentic.
Yeah.
And I just love the drink.
It's the melting pot of the melting pot.
Yeah, it's an ambiance, in there. The food is amazing. The drinks are amazing. So I love that restaurant. Chain restaurants, funny enough, I feel like me and you always end up at chain restaurants, and we love it.
P.F. Chang's.
P.F. Chang's,
Yeah.
we love
Every
that.
city.
We do love that restaurant.
You know where we've never gone to P.F. Chang's? London.
London.
And there is one. There is actually one there.
We're definitely gonna check
Yeah.
that. Check it. What's your favorite restaurant?
So, well, my favorite restaurant, not a chain. I guess yours isn't a chain either. The Bedford in Paris, Las Vegas, which is Martha Stewart's restaurant. The best roast chicken you'll ever have in your entire life.
Really?
Yeah, and the service there is impeccable. So, and they've been like, Tony and I will go there all the time.
So, and for our viewers to get to know us a little more, and Bryan, what's your favorite dish?
The roasted chicken.
Everywhere we go, no matter where we are in the world, Bryan always, that's like your way
always
to measure
get a roast
the restaurant.
chicken. Yeah.
And there's an autograph collection.
Yes. Yeah, we will give a shout out to the One Daytona. It's managed by Shaner. And it is, or no, it's not managed by Shaner. I think it's owned by Shaner. Or owned and managed by Shaner. I can't remember. But the One Daytona autograph collection in Daytona Beach, Florida has the best chicken dish you'll ever have at a hotel.
He loves it.
I would put it up there with Martha Stewart's roast chicken at the Bedford. Yeah, like it's amazing, and I can't remember the name of the dish is like escaping my memory. We'll put it on the screen.
Yeah, it's like a roasted chicken.
So that you know, but it's got a special name. But yeah, I'll fly to Vegas specifically just to go.
So
to
whenever
the
I
Bedford.
see it on the menu, I'm like, I always think of you. So
yeah. So if you're listening to this
It's
from
on
an
brand.
area that has Nando's,
oh,
I love Nando's too.
That's another chain
but it's because
that
it's
you
chicken.
love. So that is so funny. But me and you definitely have a connection with Nando's.
Yeah,
we
we
love
do.
Nando's.
Yeah, Nando's
and
is
we
amazing.
always go,
Yeah.
especially in London. So that could definitely be another.
Yeah.
We need to go over there.
Well, before we get too hungry, let's just go ahead and jump in. Let's go talk to Sam and learn more about his attorney to content creator journey, and see if he has any good recommendations.
And see if you can guess which burger is from which restaurant.
I hope he can. I mean, that was kind of hell getting those burgers. So there was one mistake, and then I'm pretty sure at that last place I was at, I wasn't going to make it out. So I've lived to tell the tale. So here we are. We'll be right back after this.
This episode is brought to you by Reliance Hospitality, a global leader in hospitality consulting and services. Reliance Hospitality understands that your journey in the hospitality industry should be nothing short of unforgettable. With a comprehensive range of services tailored for every size and type of property, Reliance Hospitality is your go-to partner from the very first blueprint to your next big investment. Whether you're a budding hotel investor or looking to refine an established property, Reliance's cutting-edge management strategies ensure that every aspect of your venture is covered. So, if you're ready to elevate your hospitality business with unmatched expertise and innovative solutions, visit RelianceHospitality.com today. Let them take care of the details so you can focus on your next big deal.
Well, welcome back. We're joined by Sam Goldberg. of Respect the Chain, and they can find you at Respect the Chain on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.
Absolutely.
And you are a real estate attorney by day and content creator by night and weekend.
Keeps me very busy.
Yeah.
Very busy.
So Sam, tell us, how in the world did you go from real estate law to content creator and chain restaurants?
I love chain restaurants.
Specifically this.
Well, first of all, thank you both for having me. I'm excited to be here. Very nice setup. Very nice setup, I must say. So I always loved chain restaurants. And my friends would always be like, we don't want to go to a chain restaurant. You only like chains. And I'm like, do you understand the hard work that goes into a chain restaurant? You understand they got to make good quality food. And what's so amazing is it tastes the same no matter where you are in the world. One of the reasons I love chain restaurants. So I was always like, they don't get the respect they deserve, pretty much based off my friends making fun of me. So I said, I got to shed some light on how great these chain restaurants are. And then Respect the Chain was born. And it was during the pandemic. Courts were closed down. Everything was, nothing was going on. And I said, you know what, now's the time to try to show off some of these chain restaurants. And during the pandemic, they were doing these pandemic specials. And Morton's Steakhouse was having a $9.99 Wagyu burger special in Times Square right on Fifth Avenue. And I said, you know what, this is something people probably don't know about. People don't want to cook. They can go to Morton's, get this cheap Wagyu burger that would normally be $25. This is amazing. So I filmed the first episode, posted it. It ended up getting 1 million views, and the rest is history.
Wow.
That's awesome. So many people, I keep hearing pandemic stories, like pandemic come-ups.
Yeah.
It's amazing how
a lot of
it
people
really help people kind of get creative and try something new, because what else? You have nothing to lose.
You had all the time in the world, and TikTok was going off, and everybody's going, what's this TikTok? What's the Instagram? So I feel like people that wouldn't normally have been into social media, they got very much into it, and I think a lot of people were looking for a creative outlet. And I think that's why so many content creators were actually born during the pandemic. And I also think there's access now. You're seeing things you normally wouldn't have seen. And I think the pandemic has a lot to do with the social media culture. I do think it definitely changed the way we see everything. It changed marketing. It changed it all.
Well, and going to Morton's is better than standing in the street doing a dance.
Absolutely. I said, what can I do to eat? What can I do to enjoy?
Yeah.
I don't want to, nobody wants to see me dance. Yeah. Nobody wants to see that.
So it's interesting because I grew up in the Midwest in Southern Indiana. And so when I moved to Chicago, people used to give me shit a lot about the fact that I like to go to chain, I would be seeking the chain restaurants.
What's your favorite
Chicago.
chain?
Typically it was always Chili's.
All right, Chili's is a good one.
Chili's is a good
Chili's.
one. Or before I actually found, I don't want to put them down, but until I found real Italian food, I thought Olive Garden was the real
What are you saying? It's not?
I mean, it's still pretty good. You can't the breadsticks, you can't go wrong. But people used to give me a hard time about it, so it was interesting. So when I met you the first time and I started looking at your content online, I was like, this is crazy. This guy, he really embraces the chain restaurant, which
Absolutely.
is kind of
amazing, because so many people are against chain restaurant. There's been so much come up of anti-chain, and you're like, no, let's give the respect. Let's give.
And you know what? I
respect.
really don't like these restaurants that are chains. They're like, oh, we're not really a chain. We just have multiple locations. I'm like, embrace it. You're a chain.
Yes.
You're a chain.
Well, because you make a good point. We're in the hotel space, and the whole thing with the hotel is it has a name on it. It's a chain, and we have to make sure it's the same no matter where you are in the world. And it's the same with these chain restaurants, especially the more units they have.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people can dog on McDonald's.
Yeah.
But they have perfected the methodology in terms of taking their product, and it's the same everywhere you go.
And international McDonald's. I love traveling internationally, going to McDonald's, going to a Burger King, Carl's Jr., and I love seeing the different menu items that they have. And I also, it sounds silly, but I love seeing the Happy Meal toys and seeing all the different toys that they have in the different countries and all the different experiences and how they're mixing this and that. And I personally believe the way to see a country is to go into a McDonald's, because you actually get to see everybody that's working, that's living, they're living their day-to-day lives. And I actually feel like if you're in a McDonald's in a foreign country and you really want to see how the world works, you get to see all walks of life there. Everybody's there. And that's really where you get to see the locals.
I love that. And you get to, like you said, kind of see anything that's local. There is something cuisine they'll usually add, like in Puerto Rico, it's café con leche. And sometimes when I'm homesick, and I'm in an international country, especially when I was first traveling,
Yeah.
I would just go there because it reminds me of America. It
Exactly. I
reminds me
agree.
of
And you
home.
get that taste. You need that taste.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, and like in the UK, what is it? You can get they have different frosty or not frosty. That's Wendy's. McFlurries. Like the different McFlurry flavors change
Yep.
too, so you can get more options. Whereas here we just have the Oreo and
The normals.
M&Ms.
The normals.
And it's kind of funny in Europe, it tastes a little healthier.
Does- Everything
does.
tastes healthier in
It
Europe.
does
I don't
taste
know
a lot
why.
healthier, yeah.
It always is. I never feel like that after eating. You always
Yeah.
feel good after you eat in
Yeah.
Europe.
You know what surprised me was when we were in Tel Aviv last summer. I went to the McDonald's there.
I think that is the best burgers at
Even
McDonald's.
the
It's so
cheeseburger
good.
tasted good, and I don't
It's
think it was
so
real
good.
cheese.
It's not. Yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely isn't. That wouldn't be kosher.
Yeah.
But yeah, the burgers, they are amazing. And it's like $25 American to get food at McDonald's when you do the conversion. At least when I was there.
Yeah, it's
And I thought that was the best burger I've ever had at McDonald's.
but it does give you a taste
Yeah.
of home. So
Definitely.
so in the scale of chain restaurants, what is your favorite chain these days?
You know, it's easy for me. Cheesecake Factory and I got to say
Ooh.
Panda Express. Those are my two favorites.
And
Those are my
why?
two. Cheesecake Factory is just nostalgic. I grew up going there all the time. I knew I made it with respect to chain when the Cheesecake Factory allowed me to go into the kitchen and make my own dish with the chef. And I actually went to Dubai and they allowed me into the kitchen of their Dubai Cheesecake Factory. And I got to
Wow.
cook with the chef. And it's interesting because there's no ham. So it's all beef. So like a lot of the menu items were different. So I thought that was fun. But you know, Cheesecake Factory is definitely like the number one. Everybody always know, all my friends know my order. I always get the classic burger, white rice. I like rice instead of fries. I just do. And brown bread, blue cheese dressing with the brown bread, my recommendation. And then of course, Panda Express, orange chicken. I think it's amazing. Those are my top two. Top two.
Wow.
I'm going on the record.
Yeah.
On the
Yeah,
record.
yes. I love it.
Well, talk about an extensive menu. Like Cheesecake Factory, for as many locations as they have, and the size of that menu,
Yep.
all their food is.
I've always wondered how do
consistent.
they cost-wise, like cost-wise for
It's
like the
unbelievable.
Yeah.
operation.
Well, I think if you look at it,
It's
I'm sure they
crazy.
use the same. Like, I'm sure every piece of chicken and beef is probably used in a million different ways.
Oh yeah, and they make everything from scratch every day. Like
That's what
the sauces they
blows
make
my
from
mind.
scratch. Everything is made from scratch. That was one of the things they were showing me. And again, that goes back to respect the chain. Like you got this great chain restaurant, like you said, gigantic menu. Everything is made from scratch every single day.
Yeah.
So it's pretty amazing. Yeah.
What do you
It can be
feel?
done.
What do you feel has been the most surprising as you've kind of some of these different restaurants or different parts of the world? Has anything surprised you?
Well, I think now it's such a culture. Like a lot of these restaurants are doing merch drops, and this merch flies like Auntie Anne's just had a new cologne. Like Wendy's just did something. It's just there's so much merch. McDonald's is constantly doing merch. They just had the collector's cups. They had an Art Basel exhibit in December. I'm just saying, I feel like merchandise now with these chain restaurants, they're really picking up. And if you go online, if you miss your opportunity, they're going for thousands of dollars to get all this different merch.
It's funny about
Wow.
the thing with McDonald's recently. I was in Florida last week, and I was on my way to the airport, and I wanted to get breakfast, so I stopped in at McDonald's. And there were these people in there trying to find out from the manager when the shipment was coming with the
For the
collector's
cups.
cup.
Yeah, yeah.
And it kind of reminded me of back when I was a kid in the 90s, and people were looking for the Beanie Baby.
Exactly. You know, there's a Beanie Baby on the cup. Like
Oh,
one of
there
the
is?
cups. Yeah. It's one of
Oh,
the
wow.
cups is trying to show you all the Beanie Babies. They have the Shrek toys. So it's a lot of the nostalgic Happy Meal toys
Okay.
are on the cups. So you're right.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, and I remember, so our colleague Heather, I think it was Christmas last year, KFC did like a log that you could
Oh,
put in
I
the
know what you're talking
fireplace,
about. Yes.
and it was like seasons, like the chicken.
Yes.
So, and she is not someone that, she eats seaweed,
Oh.
so she's not eating any fried chicken, but I thought that was the funniest thing.
Did she get it?
She did get it. Yeah, I got it for her,
Amazing.
and then she got then in return, she got me candles that smelled like the Super 8 hotel
Oh,
chain.
That is
really?
so
Like Super
funny.
8?
Yeah, and I will like,
How's that smell? How's that? Why would you want
you know,
that?
I love Wyndham, but I don't
You
know
know?
that I'm the Super 8 customer.
Yeah. I'm not going to tell you what I think it smells like. I'll keep that to myself.
Yeah.
Keep it to
I'll
myself.
tell you that after.
Yeah. Definitely.
How do you feel then chain restaurants have kind of shaped the consumer, perspective in hospitality?
I think now a lot of places are so TikTok oriented. I think they're creating dishes for the TikTok audience. And I think that is bringing the community closer together. Like, what about not to go back to McDonald's again, but the Grimace last summer, the whole thing with the Grimace Shake, that brought a whole community together. Everybody was making their own different videos, their own different horror videos. And I feel like community in chain restaurants is very important. I feel like they're bringing a lot of that to it. Also, Panda Express, they just had like a fancy dining experience back in February. They did one of those in LA, one of those in New York City. And it was like an 8-course meal of all the different Panda Express. They put gold flakes on the orange chicken. So I'm just saying there's a lot of different experiences going on with all these chains, which I think is pretty exciting. And what was I going to say? No, sorry.
No, I was going to say, do you see, especially here in New York, do the chain restaurants kind of push the local shops to step their game up at all, or?
Probably, but again, I think there's a lot of people that are like, I'm in New York City, I'm not eating at a chain. How dare you? How dare you make?
Okay, so let's talk about that, because I feel like it's controversial when people come to the city.
Yeah.
And like they do go to like the Olive Garden in Times Square or the Red Lobster in Times Square. Like
Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, like they're all good though.
What about Junior's? That's a good example. That's a local chain. Everybody knows their cheesecake. They're in Las Vegas. They're here. Yeah. There's 2 locations in Times Square. But again, that's kind of like there's different types of chains. There's local chains. There's fancy chains. So I feel like Junior's is a good example of a chain that's acceptable if you're on vacation to certain people. They consider it a local stop.
Yeah, I just remembered our favorite chain that we always go to together, and we've gone to in Mexico City. We've been to New York, and we're almost scared to tell people because they'll like go crazy on it. PF Chang's.
Oh, PF Chang's. That's a good one.
We love PF.
Here they have ones that are just takeout.
Yeah, they have the express.
Yeah, they have express ones. Yeah, I know.
We're like, we can't post.
And we went to Mexico City for a meeting, and like, I don't know how it came up the next day or something, and everyone was like, "You did what?"
PF Chang's in Mexico.
You see, I respect that. And what about In-N-Out, by the way? If you're traveling to LA, In-N-Out is. Everybody loves In-N-Out Burger. That seems to not get any beef.
Okay, so I didn't grow up with In-N-Out. Didn't have it until I moved west. I think it's overrated.
I actually love In-N-Out. I really do.
Yeah.
Do you like the fries?
I'm one of those. I like the burgers. I love that sauce.
The burgers, I will give you that. The burgers
like
and the
that
sauce are pretty good. My thing, and I have done this before, if you get a burger at In-N-Out and then drive to like McDonald's and get fries,
that's a good
and
idea.
then go get like a Frosty at Wendy's.
Why not?
That's kind of a good
I feel like Whataburger is way more.
Whataburger?
I like Whataburger also. That's really good. And again, that's local. It's local.
It's local.
Yeah.
You're
allowed to.
You're going to see Whataburger
That's true.
everywhere.
That is true. Yeah, I've never been a Whataburger fan.
That's a huge burger also. I remember getting that in Austin.
Well, and what I could imagine is it's kind of hard to also rate chains from New York City compared to other parts, because here they're always the like hero ones. So like the Raising Cane's, it's similar to one in South Beach. It has a DJ, it's huge.
Yeah.
That's not the Raising Cane's you're gonna see.
That's not the one we go to in
You know? Same thing even for hotel-wise, you know, the
is
Temple
true, yeah.
Hotel that we're at, or some of these other monster Marriott or Times Square properties that are just huge. You're not gonna see that in other parts of the world.
It's true.
So do you kind of notice that too when you're doing your work here in New York City?
I think
compared to
Raising Cane's is like the landmark locations, Las Vegas, New York. They just opened one in Nashville, South Beach, like you said. So yeah, definitely those are like the hotter spots to go. But also, I was thinking one of my favorite chains as a kid, and I still love it, is Planet Hollywood. That was a good stop. You guys ever go there?
I think I did there was one in Circle Center Mall in Indianapolis, I think. We went there once.
I like that because it's like celebrity, food, combined.
it reminds me a little Hard Rock.
Yeah,
you know?
I like the Hard Rock Cafe too.
Yeah.
They're a good one. They're good.
So what's your favorite hotel chain?
Ooh, I'm a Hyatt guy. I
You're
always
a
say
Hyatt
Hyatt.
guy.
Lots of Hyatts. I've got the Hyatt credit card. We're going to talk airlines too, Delta and Hyatt. Those are my spots.
So we've been doing a lot of work on the Hyatt side right now. We've got a few things that are in development.
Yeah.
And so Hyatt's been on our radar. What do you love about Hyatt?
I think the program is great. I think if you're part of the program, you get upgraded to suites. I think they treat you nicely. Most of all, I like the hotels. They've got good variety. You got the Andaz involved in there as well. Hyatts are really nice. I love the Hyatt in Orlando, Florida. Always go out there from Boca, so whenever I go there, I stay at the Hyatt Regency in Orlando. It's just a good vibe. I always have. They always treat me nicely.
Which just sold, and it's the highest. I can't remember the exact dollar amount off the top of my head.
By Hyatt sold, where I like to stay.
The one in the big one in Orlando, just sold. It's the largest transaction in Hyatt's history.
Who bought it?
I cannot remember.
Are you saying that I can't stay there anymore?
Oh no, you can.
It's not
gonna
a Hyatt?
continue
It's
to be
gonna
a
still
Oh,
Hyatt.
it's
be
still
the
a Hyatt.
brand.
Okay,
Yeah,
Still a
good.
Hyatt.
I got
The
scared.
ownership has
It
changed.
should be
You scared me. As long as it's a
Customers should
Hyatt.
not notice the difference.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
good,
customers
good.
won't
In
notice the
theory.
difference, but
Good.
it did just trade for the most amount of money that a Hyatt has ever sold for.
Wow, that's
So,
crazy.
which is right now they're trying to become asset light, so
Yeah.
it worked for them.
Okay.
But
as long as I can stay there.
yeah. So what is your thought about them acquiring Standard Hotel?
The Standard?
Yeah.
Very boutique. I think the rooms are small. I like Hyatts because you go in there, you get a nice size room. Like these new boutique-y hotels where they're like the common areas are big, so it's hang out in the common area, and then you go back to your room and there's no space. I'm not into that. I'd rather have an older hotel, a bigger room. I don't need a nice, like I'd rather not have a beautiful new rooftop bar and then go back to my little box. I want a nice room to lay in and have my space.
Yeah.
So I don't really, the new boutique-y like the Tommy Hotel and all that in West Hollywood, I'm not into it. I'd rather have a bigger room.
Yeah. No, I agree with you on that.
So when you're going to a restaurant, like what's your rating metric? Like what do you really think is important, or how do you even start to feel like I can give a good review?
That's a good, well, I have to tell you, I'm a happy guy. I don't like to insult anybody. I don't insult.
Oh.
So my
So you're not Gordon Ramsay.
No. I feel like everyone's there to have a good time. They're trying their, so on my show, I never ever will insult a restaurant. If I don't like something, I just won't post about it. So I just will not post the episode. But
So
yeah.
if you invite Sam and he doesn't post, you know
That's
that
right.
was his
You know.
polite and diplomatic way to.
And I actually learned from Guy Fieri. I'm going to say his name right. It's Fieri. He said in some article when I first started out, he goes, if I don't like the food, I won't say I don't like it. I'll list the ingredients. So if you ever also see me listing ingredients, I was like, that's a good tip. If I'm listing ingredients, it's like, so it wasn't so terrible not to post, but it wasn't so great to say, oh, this is great. You got to try this. I'm like, oh, so there's cheese in this. There's
That's
beef.
amazing. We can use that in the hotels. Like,
yeah.
hey, the
Don't give me the credit. It's Guy Fieri.
Yeah.
the steamer was
It's
great.
interesting because I mean, if it's not completely, because most experiences aren't completely horrible.
Yeah.
Like there's
For
some
sure.
There's
high
one
points.
place in particular I went to that I was just, I can't post this.
Well, I was gonna say, have there been any where you've gone into and you've just been like,
Yeah.
oh my.
After
God.
I was looking at it, I was editing it, and I said, I can't in good conscience tell people to go here.
Yeah.
Well, it must be hard if they're paying you though.
Yeah. But that one I wasn't being paid, luckily.
So you
Luckily,
have to
that
have
wasn't a paid
So-
gig.
stern
It was
conversation.
not a paid gig.
Hey, call us. We'll help them. We can consult, do some training, help them up, and then
Yeah.
we'll have you come
We'll
back.
have you come
If it was
back.
paid, I would have said, I love this place.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, it's an interesting point because I heard somebody recently say on a show that they don't accept payment or free like gifts to like go like on hotel stays or flights or experience type stuff because the individual very much wants to say if it sucked, they want to be able to publicly say it
Right.
sucked. So like, how does that?
Again, I'm only filming with places that I love, that I want to. Like if I'm going into a kitchen, it's because I have an experience there. It's because I want to show it off. I'm like, this is amazing. I'm excited to be here.
You've been led there by your passion.
Exactly. I'm not just going to random places. If I go to a place, it's there's a purpose behind
Yeah.
it. I just tried this restaurant where they have the nuggets with caviar on top, and it's like $26 for a nugget.
Oh wow.
That
I
sounds very
wouldn't
Manhattan,
recommend
very
going
New York
there.
City.
It was all right. I was like, I've had better nuggets at Mickey D's. But again, I would tell people to go there for the experience because it's fun. It's like a bonding experience. And if you think about, I was like, all right, I'll have one less drink tonight. So give me one drink and a nugget with caviar on it. I'll give it a try. But again, I like the experience, the ambiance, being with your friends. So for that, it was a good time, but I wouldn't order it again.
Yeah.
Definitely
That's
not.
an interesting concept.
I mean,
Yeah,
a lot
Definitely
of.
a way to get people in the door.
Oh, it did. And
And something
there's
to
they're
talk about.
geniuses.
It's
26
unique.
bucks for one nugget?
Yeah.
Like the four of us were looking at each other like, we just spent over $100 on this? Like, what's wrong?
Yeah.
They got us good.
It's like when they do the gold flakes.
Oh yeah. On the steaks.
Exactly.
So I was like, what? My one gold flake just increased it.
And
Yeah.
if you look at my Instagram, you'll see I didn't post about it.
Okay. Well, there we go.
There's no post about the nugget caviar, so there you go. I think a conversation I've had numerous times is Carbone a chain restaurant? And I always say, of course, Carbone is a chain restaurant, but a lot of people tell me it isn't. But I'm like, of course it's a chain. It's the same menu. It's in multiple locations. And I get very passionate about this conversation because I don't believe Carbone ever wants to be referred to as a chain,
Yeah.
but it's so obvious a chain. Like, how are you not a chain?
But they have to, like, yes, I am 100% agreement with this because if you have more than one location, you're by default a chain because if you're serving the exact same menu,
Yep.
you have to have the consistency between the like your chain. You're duplicating.
Exactly.
So it's not. Now, if it was going to be like Carbone, like Indian food,
But of course, then it's different. then it's
separate.
different. But if
Yeah.
it's the same, so I do a lot of.
and they're selling their sauce now in grocery stores
Exactly.
nationwide.
So it's like,
So-
listen, pick what you want to be.
I feel like
pick
you,
what you want to be.
are a chain at that.
I believe it's 100% a chain.
They're like choosing when they want to be and when they don't want to be.
Yeah.
I think they consider those completely separate, the
Yeah.
sauce and the restaurant.
Yeah.
But Alex Earl, she's like, the famous TikToker. I interviewed her and I said, what's your favorite chain restaurant? And the reason this came up is she looked at me and she said, is Carbone a chain? And I said, of course Carbone's a chain. So she said Carbone was her favorite chain. But again, she was like, is that considered a chain restaurant? I'm like, of course it is. So that's where this debate came, is whether or not Carbone really is a chain restaurant.
I think that's a really good compliment though for Carbone, because that means at least that location is creating an experience that she feels is very personalized and the service is really good. And she's like, this can't be all over. This is just my location, which
Exactly.
is good. Like
That's
kudos
true.
to that, restaurant. For
I
doing
agree.
that.
Yeah. There's different levels.
So since you got into this, I have to ask this because I can only imagine what the conversation has been in your office. Like, how did your colleagues react?
They love it.
Okay.
I bring them merch.
Were
I
you
take
always
them to
open?
shoots.
Were you always open about it too?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There was no. Again, it's on social media.
Yeah. You can't really hide
It's
it.
not that. Well, I posted some video and one of the paralegals goes, "Look," and he was like, my video popped up. So I'm just saying you can't really hide it. If people are on social media, especially here, I feel like the algorithm just picks it up. But no, everybody's happy for me. Everyone's excited. I still go to court in the mornings. I do my shoots around my court schedules, around everything. Obviously, the office has to come first. But
You had any judges,
I work around
mention
it. No, but I have had the police officers in court come up to me and say, "Is this you? Is this you?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's me."
That's
me."
so funny.
I think they know. The judges, but
Yeah.
I like to keep a little bit of like, even if they
Yeah.
do know, I don't
Yeah,
want to talk about it. It's
Yeah,
the judge.
right.
You gotta keep it. A lot of the attorneys in court know. A lot of them watch the show. So that's fun. That's nice.
It's like is it? Do you find it as a stress relief almost?
Yeah, I get it. Because again, you when you go to court, you're defending people. You got to be there. It's very serious. So it's definitely nice to have this as a way to have a good time, let loose. It's two completely. If you saw me in court, this is not the same personality. They're two completely different personalities. So it's funny.
Do you think you could ever get to a point that you would possibly consider not being an attorney and going full time?
I like them both. I love being a lawyer. I love doing this. Right now, everything's going perfectly. It's possible, but I'm very happy. I like the fact that I know, doing the podcast tonight, I've got a court appearance in the morning. I'm going to court. So I like having both. It's fun.
It's a good balance.
Yeah, exactly.
In contrast.
Exactly. And I get to wear a suit when I go to court. So there you go.
Yeah. Awesome. So one thing that's come out of the pandemic with chain restaurants, especially, which I feel like they were forced into, which I think has been good for society as a whole, is their adoption rate on technology. Like self-serve, self-serve technology, mobile apps, things like that. How do you feel that that's made things evolve with the chains, and do you see them adopting any more? Is there anything you see happening?
I'll tell you this. If I go to any restaurant and I see a self-serve or I see a person at the register, I always go to the register because I think it's so much easier. I just want to order my food. When you go to these kiosks, you hit the buttons, you got to find this stuff. I'd rather just say, please, just give me chicken, give me this, give me that. So I always go to the register. But yeah, I think for the companies, obviously it's a lot better for them to have it run by technology. There's that new Brooklyn dumpling shop that's in the city where it's the robots. There's a lot of robots making food all of a sudden. There's chicken, there's robots making chicken, there's robots making dumplings, there's a robot masseuse, not that it's food related, but robots are popping up everywhere. There's a robot massage that I went to a couple months ago. And no, the technology is definitely helpful to the industry, I think. It definitely keeps things in order. It keeps things, you're less prone to make a mistake, I guess, with technology.
Yeah.
But I'm a person guy.
I think sometimes the chain restaurants, it's easier to use the machine though, because you know exactly what you want.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can go straight to the machine and I'm like, do.
Yeah.
It's almost quicker for me.
Although,
than to talk to
Whenever I
someone.
use a machine, it never works.
Yeah. Although to Sam's point, you eventually on a lot of the kiosks, they're not set up so like if you like want to like edit something,
Yeah,
like customize
personalized.
something,
That is true.
And
specifically in a
That
certain
is
way,
true.
it doesn't
That
like.
is
Also,
true.
I'll be honest with you, sometimes you don't want to touch that machine. You don't want to touch it. If I
Yeah.
go into a place in New York City, I don't really want to touch it.
Yeah, I will say going up to a kiosk, especially here, is
Yeah.
very different than going into one
Yeah.
in the middle of nowhere, America.
Yeah. If they want to be smart,
Here
put
they're
some
like
hand
covered
sanitizer.
in hand, like
Yeah.
like you can tell like they've been touched by.
Well, now you're making me think the next iteration that's coming very soon is literally to be able to have like ChatGPT or some kind of an audio, so you can just say, "I want this, this, this," and then it's like,
It'll be
"Is
the
that what you
robot.
want?"
That'd be cool.
So that's
I
probably
like that.
what's
If I can
coming next.
talk, I'm into it. I'm
Yeah.
into it.
That's awesome.
It's awesome. So, what trends do you predict for the future?
So what's funny is I was reading an article, I don't even know why, of the predictions of 2024. And they said 2024 was the year of the tomato. And I was at a restaurant the other day and like literally just brought out a plate of tomatoes. And I was like, this is delicious. I like this. So this year they said it was a tomato. I'm not sure. What do you guys think for next year?
Oh, I don't know.
It's a tough question.
It's a tough question.
I mean, you know what? I'm an avocado
I
guy.
mean, we've been talking about McDonald's a lot.
Yeah.
Bring the wraps back to the United
Oh,
States.
they're so good. The snack wraps.
Yeah, that's
I
the one
love
thing.
the
Whenever I
snack
go
wraps.
to the UK, they still have like the sweet chili chicken wrap.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good.
I think
So
it's
good.
going to continue being healthier options, vegan-friendly options too, because people just want to be able to, you know, have those options, and it continues to grow. We're all trying to be a little healthier, and even if it's for a month, even if it's for January,
It's true.
but having that ability is going to be awesome. So I think that we're going to always
Yeah.
kind of keep exploring.
You know who
that.
I've been impressed by lately for whatever reason, and it's crazy, is I've gotten addicted to Burger King Whoppers.
Oh, they're so good.
Like,
They're
and then I didn't
amazing.
realize, and this is really bad. This is why I probably should travel all the time and not be working in the office, because like when I was in the office last week, like 2 days in a row, I went through the drive-through at Burger King at
Yeah.
breakfast time, and I realized on their app, like they have a whole section that's burgers for breakfast.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I
You're
was like-
teaching me. I had no idea.
I was like, well, it's protein,
That's amazing.
so I can either get that or eggs.
Do you get it wrapped in a waffle or something like that, or pancakes?
No, it's literally like lunch at 7:30
I
in the
like
morning. But
Burger King has the most unusual things internationally. When I first started doing this in Germany, they had the social distancing burger, and they put on like just a load of onion. So I recreated that when I first started, and that went really well. And then they had a burger. I forget what they had, the cheeseburger in Thailand, where it was just 20 slices of cheese. Burger King, and then they had another burger where they put peanut sauce on top of it. So Burger King in international countries is crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, not so good in the UK.
No, really.
No.
I don't think I've
For
had it in
whatever
the UK.
reason, like it's not very good in the
They're
UK.
missing something. They're missing
Yeah.
something.
And
Yeah.
I've heard that, like, I've heard Thailand come up before, that's like Burger King's the place to go.
I was thinking, to go back to your 2024 question or 2025 trends, I believe sauces are in. If you think about it, there's always a new sauce coming out.
It's
KFC just did all these sauces. I think it's the year of the sauce, and all of these different chains are coming out with a ton of sauces, and
they're
all
making
trying to up
more
each
money
other.
from it too, because they're
And they're
charging
bottling
and
it.
they're
Yeah.
becoming
Chick-fil-A
very
bottles it
strict
now.
on.
So I think 2025 year of the sauce.
It is
That's
interesting. Like, I don't go to the grocery store that often anymore, but when I do, like, it's funny, like, seeing all the things that from the chain restaurants we grew up with, that it's
all
now
there.
this product is in the store.
Cheesecake Factory has brown bread they're selling in the store.
It's
Yeah.
delicious.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's
So,
the best.
any advice for a potential lawyer that's at home watching this, or
I
whoever
say-
that wants to possibly kind of become a content creator or do something
Keep posting.
unique?
Post.
Post,
And don't
post.
listen to it. If anyone says, like, what are you doing? Don't be an idiot out there. Don't listen. Post your videos. The truth of the matter, everybody says you're crazy until it hits. And it took me a while to gain followers. It took me a very long time. And a lot of people don't do this. I believe if you think a video is going to do well and you post it for the first time and it doesn't, repost it. Repost it. I repost my videos all the time. My theory is if TBS can air Seinfeld and Friends episodes all the same constantly for years, I can do reruns on my channel. So I think rerunning episodes is a great idea because you have new followers. A lot of people didn't see it. And I think if you really believe in the episode, it's a way for it to hit in the future. Dick's Last Resort is one of my favorite chain restaurants. When you go there, they insult you, they roast you. And I filmed with them and I was like, this is going to be a great episode. I posted it, it got 200 views. Posted it 3 months later, got 1,000 views. 1 year after that, I reposted it, 9.2 million views. Did not change the video at all. Same exact thing. So I always
Wow.
say repost your videos. You never know what's going to happen.
That's amazing.
Well, I think one piece of advice you just gave that's critical that I have learned through our process of doing this show is like let your guard down, and like when people are telling you you're crazy, just
Exactly. And then once you hit it, they're like, "Oh wow, you're a genius."
yeah, they're like, oh, I guess you are doing something
Yeah.
that is interesting.
Follow your
like,
gut,
Yeah,
right?
just
And
follow
again,
your
just
gut.
have fun. Like it's not supposed to be so serious. It's for fun. It's a good time, and the more fun you have, the more people want to watch.
Very true.
100%.
Do you ever get into the trend? Like, do you do? I feel like your content's always very original. So like, I think I already know the answer to this question, but like, you don't get into like the TikTok trends and stuff. Like,
Sometimes I will. I'm
Okay.
trying to think of the last, like Paris. There was some audio going around for Paris, so I took all my Paris footage and put it onto the audio because I figured why not.
yeah.
And that's another example. I was in Paris 2 years ago, but I knew the Olympics were going on, so I took all my Paris content, posted it again because why not? So you got to like keep up with the times.
And you
trends for
edit all your
videos.
own content.
Yeah, I film it. I edit
Wow.
it. A lot of my friends help me film. They're very good people.
Yeah.
So, Sam, do you think that there is potential for more collaborations between chain restaurants and hotels?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, again, there's a lot of chain restaurants in hotels as it is. So I think if there's a hotel attached to a mall, I think that's perfect right there. And I think everybody
I was just gonna
can
say,
help
like,
everyone.
you would probably be happy if they replaced the rooftop with a
Oh,
Panda
absolutely.
Express.
Absolutely. Every time a restaurant closes down next to my apartment building, I'm like, please be a Panda Express.
His Panda is our PF.
It's a franchise system. You could always open a Panda Express.
I'd rather they cook for me.
Okay.
I don't want to be my chef. It's like I don't want to live where I vacation. I don't want to work
true.
where I eat.
So when we can get a Panda Express in the Hyatt Orlando,
I'll be there.
You'll be there.
I'll be there. As long as there's a good food court. So Hudson Yards has a mall, but the food court, it's not, I judge a mall based on the food court. That's how I judge a mall. There's a Shake Shack. Shake Shack just doesn't do it for me. I'm more of I like that in and out over Shake Shack.
you know what? I didn't think about this, but you're so right, because malls that I know have gone defunct over the last decade.
Yeah.
A lot of times what you see happening first is in the food court. It goes from the name brand restaurants to like the generic.
It's like, what's this place?
yeah, like the Sbarro will go to like pizza.
Exactly.
Like Joe's.
Interesting.
That's true. Like it's kind of a good.
That's how you know
thermometer
the
of,
sign
like,
of the mall.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So if you go and it's pizza, burger,
Burger, chicken,
chicken,
taco.
they're probably on
Not
their
a good
way
sign.
out.
Yep. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Which internationally, it is interesting. Like international malls I've been in, like in the Philippines
Yeah.
and stuff. The food courts are amazing.
They're crazy. They're
Yeah.
unreal. They
So
really
do
are.
you like the timeout
Timeout
franchise?
Marketplace?
Yeah, when you can go to those.
I get confused in those marketplaces. I can't operate in those. I'm like, what am I eating? What are these places? I don't like those marketplaces, I'll be honest with you.
'Cause
I
they're not a lot of
They're not real
chains,
food
too.
courts. Some of them are, but there's a place near my office. I'm always in there. I literally walk around, and then I always leave and just go to the pizza place right there, right outside of it. Yeah.
So any good
Have you been to the-
NYC? Oh, sorry, I was gonna say any good NYC then recommendations
For pizza?
for any restaurants?
Recently, where did I go recently this week? I love Rio Grande. El Rio Grande, they are known for their margaritas. And the reason why the margaritas are so strong, if you like margaritas, they put Everclear in the margaritas. So I always tell my friends when we go there, I bring all my out-of-towners there. And I'm like, listen, there's going to be Everclear in here. Be careful when you drink it. And I consider this a chain. I'll tell you why. Because it's a very big restaurant. There's 2 entrances, and they connect. So it's theoretically 2 restaurants in one, which still makes it a chain, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's too fun.
But Rio Grande is a good place. Another place I really like that's just fun, it's a place called Break Bar. And when you finish your drink, you go to the back of the bar. They've got a room set up, and you literally break your glass. And that's another fun touristy spot that I bring everybody to. So Rio Grande and Break Bar are 2 of my places. And then Upper West Side, there's a place called Jacob's Pickle. And they make great chicken sandwiches, but it's a lot of butter. A lot of butter. Get ready for the butter.
Yeah, butter's good though.
Butter's good. It's very tasty. Very tasty.
Yeah. It's healthy.
Those are my hot spots.
Yeah. That's. Well, I was gonna ask on the timeout market. Have you been to the one in South Beach?
I have actually, yeah, but that was what, a year ago, a year and a half.
You
ago I
know
was
it's
there? It's been a while.
closed.
They closed it?
Oh, they did?
it.
Okay, I'm not as
Oh, there you go.
surprised now that I'm saying, because it kind of goes to my question, and there's the answer. Because that's the one that is like very chill.
Yeah,
I've never been in there, and it's been crazy busy, but I guess obviously
not anymore.
not anymore. Because to your point, like in Lisbon, that one, I love the food at the places.
Yeah.
My
packed.
anxiety gets so high because it's so packed, and I'm like, you get the pizza, and especially if you're by yourself, like, where are you gonna sit? Like, and then God forbid you need a
agree.
refill on a drink or something.
I literally
It's-
walk in there, I'm like, I gotta get out of here. I can't take this. I
Yeah.
just don't like it. I can't take it.
Well, and sometimes they have to add a little premium to it. But South Beach in itself has a huge premium. So then when you add it was so expensive. But I think that's why they
Have you been invited to the South Beach Food and Wine Festival yet?
I was there in February, yeah.
Awesome.
It was a really good time. It was a lot of
Sounds
fun.
like, did you go to Art Basel?
I went to Art Basel. I went to that McDonald's event with the Nuggets. But South Beach Wine and Food Festival, that was insane. That was really, really fun. So many events, so much food. It's just insane. I love the hotels. Lowe's Hotel. The Lowe's is beautiful.
Oh, okay.
That's where it was. It was really nice. And I spoke with like Andrew Zimmern. They had, who else was there? Spoke to Guy Fieri. I spoke to Kate Bosworth has a new liquor brand, so I spoke with her. So yeah, a lot of the show also is celebrity interviews because a lot of the celebrities, they're involved in the restaurant business, now the alcohol brands. So I do a lot of interviews with them as well. Talk about the brand, talk about what they've been up to. So yeah, it's chain restaurants, celebrity interviews.
Who's the celebrity that you like were able to talk to that you'd all like that was your like pinnacle moment?
I would say
Or hasn't happened yet?
the nicest celebrity was Jeff Goldblum. He
Really?
was singing with me. He was singing Chain, Chain, Chain with me. Like, out of everyone I've interviewed, he was such a nice guy. And the PR person was looking at me like, but like, when you're talking to Jeff Goldblum, nobody else exists. He gives you his
Wow.
time. He gives you his energy. I got to say, he was probably one of the nicest people I've ever interviewed.
That's
That's good to
special.
hear because I see he like will talk to a lot of people you'll see a lot of clips with him online.
Yeah.
And it always seems like he's giving them his like a
No.
lot more time
And
than
it's
normal.
now we know it's
Now we know it's
Undivided.
authentic. Like,
Undivided attention. Like, again, and Hoda.
Really?
Hoda was so nice. I brought a White Castle beer with me. I was on a red carpet. I was like, "Want to try this?"
oh, I
And-
saw that.
Yeah,
she
yeah.
hated it.
She hated it,
Yeah.
but she was amazing. She was
But
like,
it was a very Hoda reaction.
it was so funny.
Yeah.
She's great. Hoda, I would say Hoda was probably Hoda's the best. Jeff Goldblum was the nicest.
Yeah. I would like to go to dinner with both of them, probably separately, but yeah. Hoda because it's Hoda.
I got to tell you, pick Hoda. Hoda
Yeah.
wins. Hoda wins.
Yeah, we'll have to try to get that set up.
So what's next for you, Sam?
Next up for me, going to do more celebrity interviews, going to film more content in the kitchens, try to show how they create these great dishes, just seeing where it goes. It's been fun. Going to continue on. And
Is there anyone on your target? Is there like a chain yet?
I
that
don't want
you're
to
like,
jinx it. I'm not jinxing it. I'm not jinxing it. But definitely I'm going to do, I love doing the red carpets. I love getting the celebrities on. I love giving them food to try. To me, I just think it's a lot of fun to get the reactions. And again, people love to see that. You know, in the past, a celebrity walks the red carpet, they say, "What are you wearing?" Now it's, "What do you like to eat?" So I think food has become so ingrained in society and everybody wants to know what everyone's eating that I think that's really where we're going. So
Yeah.
it's exciting.
That's awesome. Well, when we come back, we're going to put you to the test.
Uh-oh.
We've got a couple of fast food burgers for you to try.
Bring it on.
We
Bring
want
it
to see.
on.
We want to see really how your taste buds react if you actually can just eat it without knowing where it's from and be able to tell us.
Let's do it. I can
So-
do it. I can do it.
Awesome. We'll be right back after this. Well, welcome back, Sam. We have covered your eyes up with our lovely silk blindfold.
I'm nervous.
This is our first game on the show.
Wow.
Yes,
So
our first, you're
so
our first
thank
guest.
you.
I'm honored.
So we've got 3 burgers here from fast
All
food
chains.
chains, all chains. We know where they're from, but you don't. But you might once you taste it.
Can I feel them too?
You're like,
course.
I'm gonna place them in your hand and then you can eat. So I'm gonna give you the first one,
Wow, I really can't see.
right?
I can smell it.
There's
though.
yeah.
That's the first one.
I want to see if it's a square. This is circular. Circular. All right, interesting. Very interesting. Fluffy bun.
Shake
Shack.
On the first try, it is Shake Shack.
I knew it.
What was the giveaway?
The bun. But it's a very small burger in relation to the bun.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm in a nail class.
That is a good, yes. Awesome.
Okay.
Well, next, we're going to go to our next one.
By the way, I really can't see.
Yeah.
I can't see.
Good.
That's awesome.
That's,
That mask is designed to sleep, so we're very, like,
I'm
that's
gonna take a
good.
nap after this.
Right? So there's number 2.
Wendy's.
Wow. You didn't even have to taste
But
it.
it's the square. Wendy's is
That's
the square.
true. It is the square.
I will taste it though.
Yeah.
so the last one, he doesn't
good.
get to touch it.
why I said-
You're too good.
Can I touch
You're
it?
too good.
Hey, but
Sam.
doesn't it go to show you, like, everyone is so unique?
And those are the consistency. That's the standard
Exactly.
of what makes a
Circles and
burger.
squares.
He knows that it's a
Like,
Wendy's
if you went to
burger.
Wendy's and the
Like-
burger was round,
Give
you'd
me
be
that
like,
third
what's
burger.
going on? So here's the third one.
Uh-oh. What do we got here? This is heavy.
Yes.
Whoa. This is a heavy one.
They pack a punch at this one.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Oh, here we go. That's why. There's one. There's two. McDonald's. McDonald's?
No.
Oh.
Whoa.
Hey, the third one,
Hold on.
Sam.
I got cocky, that's why. Wait a second. Now I'm sad. Is this like a trick?
Anything else that's coming to mind? Maybe it can help. You said heavy.
I think you were going down the quarter pounder route, which is...
Burger King.
No.
What is it? Wait. Wow, I can't believe this.
Take one more bite.
Hold on.
Or
Let me see. We did Shake Shack. We did Wendy's. It's not McDonald's. It's not Burger King.
right?
Can't believe you guys are stumping me. Well, you know when I see this, I'm going to say, what? I didn't
Right.
get that? How could I not have gotten that?
Right?
I just want to taste the beef.
I'll give you a little bit of hint. Everything
on.
is
Hold
like
on.
everything's fresh.
This is going to be a long segment.
It is.
It's going to be a very long segment.
Give him another tip.
Give me a hint.
So there are about 5 people that prepare it.
Five Guys?
5 guys. Yeah.
I guess that gave it away. That did give it away.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, Five Guys did not even come in my realm of consciousness.
Really?
It truly didn't, and it should
We'll
have.
take your.
No, I like
Yeah.
the blindfold.
You like the blindfold?
Wow. You know, I was so good on the first two. So good.
So good.
I know.
I have to say, my favorite, honestly, was Wendy's.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I like the Wendy's the best.
And
They
why?
do
What-
have a good
what-
burger.
Was it the taste?
I think, honestly, because I used to always eat Wendy's as a kid. So
Yeah.
Wendy's, I knew it immediately. I was, feeling it. Five Guys.
So
yeah.
our next game is you have 10 seconds to finish them all.
Awesome.
Have you been
so
to the
much,
Five
Sam.
Guys Speakeasy in the city?
No.
In the West Village, there's a Five Guys. You walk into the Five Guys, then you go right upstairs. It's a whole club bar.
wow.
It's right there. You guys should check it
Well,
out.
Tyler, you're gonna have to make
Wow.
sure you book us at the speakeasy.
Check that out. It's really cool.
We'll be right back with Sam right after this.
This is Five Guys? Can't believe
It's
it.
5 Guys.
Can't believe it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, welcome back. Now, Sam, we have a tradition on the show.
Yeah.
Everybody that comes on has to give us a funny story of something that's happened to them in travel or hospitality related, so in a hotel, in a restaurant,
At a chain restaurant.
at a chain
I
restaurant.
got a
in your
good one.
case.
I got a good one for you guys. When I was in high school, my dad and I went to Las Vegas to see a TRL concert, and Destiny's Child
Wow.
was one of the performers, and we were like, let's go see Destiny's Child. So my dad and I are in the elevator. All of a sudden, the elevator opens up. Who walks in? Beyonce and Kelly Rowland. And I'm like, Beyonce and Kelly Rowland. And I'm like, hey, we're here. We're coming to your concert tonight. And they're like, oh, great. That's fun, whatever. Very nice, very cordial. And I said, can I take a picture with you? And they said, no, we're going to the gym. And they had their security with them. And they said, no, we're going to the gym. You can't take a picture with us. We don't look good. We don't look good. And I was like, please. We flew all the way from Boca. So then they say to their security, hook them up. So they ended up giving us backstage passes to the concert.
Wow.
And we watched the entire concert backstage, all because we're in the elevator with them. They were so nice. They took pictures with us. And it was me and my dad standing on the side watching the entire concert of Destiny's Child.
That's amazing.
That's
a good story.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So when you said, I was like, oh, that's a good story to tell. That's a fun story.
No,
Yeah,
that is a
that
funny
is.
story
I
because
know,
you
you know
never
what?
think in the elevator and
Yeah.
getting rejected then got you actually.
I'm gonna find the picture. I'll text it to you guys.
You should, yeah.
Put it
we'll
on the
it
video.
up. Yeah.
We'll
Yeah, we'll
include
put it on
it.
the
Find
video.
that picture. You'll see
That's-
me
We'll
and my
include it in
dad.
our
Yeah.
post.
Yeah.
Well, so you've always been, you've never been afraid to ask a question.
No. Got to have some tenacity.
Yeah.
But you got to always be nice and tenacious.
Yes.
Are
There's
you
a way
from
of
New
doing
York
things.
City? Were you born here?
Born here, but grew up in Boca Raton.
Oh, nice.
I don't know
Hey.
why I have this thick New York accent. I've been back for 15 years, and this is what happens.
This is what happens.
I don't know what happened to me. I don't know what happened.
Do you go around the world and everyone's like, oh, New York?
You're a New Yorker. They always say Brooklyn. I'm like, yeah.
They're like, can you say chocolate or
Exactly.
coffee?
Exactly. Chocolate.
Well,
So,
that's
yeah.
his stepfather Benny. Same thing. Like he's
absolutely.
been gone from here for a long time.
He
right?
has like at least 15 years.
Yeah.
But he's thick.
Yeah.
My
Thick
sister, no
accent.
accent.
You're not
No
taking it
accent on
away
my
from
sister.
him.
I'm the only one that has this.
Wow.
And my parents. But Jessica.
Well, it gives you personality.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It does.
Too much.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course. Thank you both for having
Thank
me.
you, Sam.
Seriously, thank you.
Such a pleasure.
Awesome. Well, welcome back, everybody. Jeremy.
Whoa.
That
First, the game. Him being able to guess the first two burgers just by feeling
Immediately.
and touching, I was like,
But I was shocked he didn't get the last one.
I know. He was shocked. He didn't
He
get
was
the
shocked.
last one.
Yeah.
Hey, I think that's kind of a compliment for McDonald's and Burger King.
Yeah,
that he
yeah.
thought that was their burger.
Yeah.
Because I love Five Guys. And but he is such a delightful human being, such an
Yeah.
incredible story. Attorney, a real estate attorney during the pandemic, all of a sudden starts to review chain restaurants and
Yeah.
now has over 100,000 followers across social
Who would
media
have ever
platforms.
thought?
Like,
Like-
that's just amazing. And
Yeah.
it just shows you like, don't believe, like you said, don't believe what people are
It
saying.
does make me want to go
Try
see
it.
him in court,
Yes.
just to see what his performance is like in the courtroom versus what his
and
online
he kept
presence
saying
is like.
too, he's like, I'm very different in court than
Yeah.
when
But I will
I'm doing
tell
my
you, having
reviews.
watched his content, he's the same person in his content that he is in
yes.
real life. So
Absolutely.
he had some great points, and I think, if anything, people should understand that being a chain restaurant's not an embarrassing thing.
Not at all. And I love that he highlights, something that we're so big on is training
Yeah.
and being able to create that consistent experience because people know what that experience is.
Yeah.
If they're a loyal customer, and I just love that he really kind of nailed it in explaining that and showing, like he's the reason. He kind of gives
Right.
you the use case
Exactly.
of why it's important and that hotels are the same thing.
Consistency
So it's
is
funny,
key.
like exactly. We have hotel brands for a reason. So execute on it. It actually be proud of it.
Yeah.
And I love that he is.
That way,
all
no
about
matter
it.
where you go, you get the same thing.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
It was a really good episode, and I want to now go. We're definitely going to find a seafood and wine festival. We need to go
Yeah.
with him, and I think that will be amazing to be able to do some interviews. I would love to partner up with him because he's got some great perspectives, and I think it will be kind of fun for him to be the foodie, us to be the experience hotel-y.
I want to just work a red carpet with him just so that I can eat hodakabi.
True, and ask, what's your favorite restaurant?
Exactly.
Or
Yeah.
what's your favorite hotel?
Which we know
He'll
she
ask
does
the
not like the
restaurant-
White Castle beer. So awesome. Yeah, no, I think he should be a return guest.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
So I think that's a good idea. Let's get a festival going.
Yes, so you'll see us next with him in Miami South Beach
Yeah.
Seafood and Wine Festival, or one in New York City. So yeah, it's
Or who knows,
definitely
maybe
happening.
I know he went to, I think he travels a lot to overseas. So
And next time we're gonna do another food too. We got to do another
100%.
gaming contest for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
We can do the shakes or something.
yeah, we should do shakes from each of the restaurants. So awesome. Well, guys, be sure to follow, and subscribe to all of our channels, and we'll be back next week. Okay, let's try this again.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, guys, be sure to follow, and subscribe on all of our channels, and we will see you again next Monday.
Thank you.
Coming up on our next episode of Check In with Bryan and Jeremy, we sit down with Forrest Tyson, Assistant General Manager of the Canby Autograph Collection in Phoenix, Arizona, for a dynamic conversation about his background and the wonderful work the team at the Canby have been doing to improve their guest experience this year. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to all of our channels. You can find us on Instagram by searching for check_in podcast. New episodes drop every Monday. Check In with Bryan and Jeremy is a production of Reliance Hospitality, executive produced by Tyler Alexander.